Hey y'all, I'm Brooke Hoover, a Louisiana native, actor, writer, and comedian. I've lost 100 pounds through diet and exercise, or shall I say, lifestyle changes. My 20-year and counting health journey has taught me that just like taking a diet pill for weight loss, body positivity doesn't magically happen overnight. I'm working on regaining my self-esteem and rekindling my love affair with Cajun and Southern comfort food in a healthier way, all the while juggling eating as clean as I can, reestablishing myself in the entertainment industry, which, as we know, is historically fat-phobic, all the while showing my inner fat girl some love. That's fat with a PH. Pretty hot and tempting. Let me tell y'all a tale or two. Y'all, sometimes I wonder if I was a witch in a past life for various reasons. One of them, I have this recurring dream, like this nightmare of being burned at the stake. Actually, I jest. All my recurring nightmares are actually about Alcatraz. But the other more obvious witchy reason, I've got moles. I'm a moley person. I've been asked before by inquisitive children, aka little brats, why do you have so many buttons on your face? Buttons on my face. Buttons do not grow on your face. Or I was once told by a gentleman caller, you're so interesting to look at. I could play connect the dots with you all day. Bye boo. While concocting this outline for a very Halloween themed podcast combining spooky things, witches, and self-acceptance, loving your, and by your I mean my, moles, I, I'm going to really focus on two of my moles. Upper lip mole, and chin mole. Oh, there she is. But I've got many more moles on my face, and those who are watching this video can see right there. I've got cheek mole, upper cheek mole, other cheek mole, lower lip mole. I've got a lot of moles, and that's not even the moles on my body. If you ever need a mole, I've got one to spare, so we can talk. Remember, y'all, you can insert like quote unquote, air quote, mole here for anything you may have on you that you don't necessarily feel super fat with a pH, pretty hot and tempting about, but that you're still working on accepting it. We'll work on it together. So, okay, moles. I've got a mole, like I said, above my upper lip that I've come to accept and actually even love. But then I have a few more moles, visible and not always visible, that I don't really love. And the pièce de résistance is my chin mole. It's more of like a jawline mole, and it's got a little other mole friend with it. I don't mind the mole friend, but the chin mole is pretty big in size. It hasn't changed shape, so don't worry about that. And I've even got hairs, multiple hairs that come out of chin mole. They're sprouting out of chin mole to prove that I may in fact be or have been a witch back in the day. But why is it that I have two pretty predominant moles on my face? And I dig one. I'm totally cool with one or a couple of them due to their placement, but I cannot stand the other one. I think it's all about perspective. And as y'all know, I often blame our own personal perspective or our personal hatred or dislike or unacceptance of things on us based on trends in society. So travel back in time with me, y'all. And it's not this time just to the 1980s or 1990s. We're going way back to ancient Greece. They consider a mole on your cheek good luck. Oh, I've got a lot of good luck. A mole on your throat, oh no, or back, I don't have any moles on my back, is, let's put it this way, not good luck. Oh no. Imperial China. They say a red or a black mole is a good thing. A brown one, all my moles are brown. A brown mole is not good. I think my dermatologist, Dr. Fishman, would highly disagree that a red or a black mole is a good thing. Just saying. And now enter the Middle Ages. Ah, that was really back in the day. This is when they really had some wonderful stuff a brewing. Pun intended. This is when moles became associated with witchcraft. They basically said anyone who has a mole on their face is possessed by the devil or possessed by the devil. Sorry, I had to do the Linda Blair voice because I love Halloween. I'm so sorry. But then, y'all, flash forward. We're in Europe right now from the Middle Ages to 18th century Europe. We'll flash forward to a few years later. Such a good Alanis Morissette song. So we're flash forwarding now, 18th century Europe. People are wearing faux moles to cover up smallpox scars. Aristocrats in France start wearing faux moles, which are made of real moleskin, not to be confused with those journals. They're using them for fashion. They call them mouche or flies, like a fly that flies and lands on rotting food. Like, ooh la la, looking sexy today, Lady Genevieve. You have a little petite mouche, a little fly on your cheek. When just 100 years before, Lady Genevieve would have been called a witch. Also, the aristocrats would move their mole around depending on their mood. I wish I could move my moles around, especially chin mole. You can move your moles around like a computer mouse, all up on my face. Chin mole, let's move it to underneath Brooke's eye. Ooh, I'm feeling extra fat with a PH and flirty. But oh no, it's Tuesday. We're going to move chin mole right here to my nose, on the tip of my nose. Stay away from Brooke. She's in a bad mood today. And then I wonder if I lived back then, since y'all, I'm always coming up with crazy ideas of freelance hustles, side hustles that will work with my schedule. What if I were like the mole maker woman? Mole maker, make me a mole. Instead of, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, he lives on Drury Lane. They'd be like, do you know the mole maker, the mole maker, the mole maker? She lives on Cranberry Trail, and she's in a bad mood today because she's wearing a mole on the tip of her nose. How entrepreneurial would that be, though? We would have been who would have been with me? I would have been mole maker woman, and you could have been one of my salespeople. Sell the most faux moles, win a pink horse and buggy. It's like the 18th century version of a pyramid scheme. No, so also 18th century, but in Mexico, the ladies wore faux beauty marks called chiquiadores. I'm sorry for my probably very bad accent and pronunciation. They were fashioned from fabric or tortoise shell and placed usually on their temple or forehead, also for fashion. And I don't condone the use of real tortoise shell as a faux mole, but I love plastic tortoise shell in general, so I really like this concept. I'm digging it. And y'all, then of course, Hollywood. Thank God for Hollywood. Marilyn Monroe popularized the beauty mark. And then, of course, our girl, Cindy Crawford. Growing up as a child of the 80s and 90s, when I complained about my upper lip mole, I always heard, but Cindy Crawford also has one. Cindy Crawford has a mole just like that, and it's a sign of beauty. And then all of a sudden, I get my chin mole. It sprouted out of nowhere, and there were no comforting words for that, because this chin mole cannot be equated to Cindy Crawford's beauty. Other people like Madonna, Eva Mendes, Blake Lively, they all have moles. So would we all be a pack of sexy witches? Can I join them? And who'd be the daddy warlock? Oh, Enrique Iglesias, that big old cheek mole he's got? Oh God, he's so good looking. But speaking of Enrique Iglesias, I went to middle and high school with a guy, a guy who had a big cheek mole. He was very nice, and I'm so grateful that the mean kids never made fun of his cheek mole. Perhaps they thought it was beautiful, or perhaps they were an 18th century aristocrat. But then I also got angry because they would make fun of me because I was fat with a F and had frizzy hair and flat feet. And I'd sometimes like become the mean kid, but like in my own head, and just say to like myself in my head about the guy, hey, y'all, why are you like picking on me and the foreign exchange students? Why not pick on Cheek Mole Boy? Though I never really called him that till like just right now, and that is really incredibly mean of me. But we all do it. We all did it, especially when we're younger, in some shape or form. Our ancestors even did it, and they did it worse because they burned people at the stake because they had moles. They burned people at the stake for a lot worse stuff than that. But y'all, look at me here. Eventually, my friend had the cheek mole removed, right? And it just turned into like this pinkish color of raised flesh. And that's exactly why I haven't had my chin mole removed, because my dermatologist told me that's what would happen to me. And she's like, you can like hate this brown thing right here, or we can remove it and you're going to hate this raised pink mark right here. I was like, oh, Dr. Fishman, touche, you're right. But I'm like, if you could ensure me that it would be like a polka dot of like neon pink, neon pink, which is also in my Canva toolkit for like my fat girl pink. That's what I call it. Some people call it Barbie pink. Okay, it's fat girl pink. That'd be rad. But Dr. Fishman is a dermatologist, not a miracle worker. So here's the thing. I still don't love my chin mole. I've been through a lot with it, but even within the mole category, because there's different categories of moles that can be good and bad, pretty and ugly, fat with a pH and not fat. I'm just really trying to accept it, but societal things are making it hard. Like, for example, do y'all remember that part in Uncle Buck, one of my favorite movies ever, when John Candy's in the principal's office? Maisie's been creating a ruckus, and the principal is really mean. She's a royal beast. And the mean principal just so happens to have a big old cheek mole. And Uncle Buck says to her, take this quarter, go downtown and have a rat gnaw that thing off your face. As a little kid, I was like, yeah, take that, mean lady. Then I'd gently touch my own face moles. And I was like, oh, wait. My boyfriend Harry, he grew up in India and went to Catholic schools. He was taught by nuns, and a nun threw him into the water one day and was like, you can swim. He couldn't when he was little. He's still traumatized by that. And when he talks about this particular nun, he's always like, yeah, she was mean and she had a big old mole on her face with a huge hair coming out of it. And I'm always like, Harry, I have a huge mole on my face with a hair with multiple hairs coming out of it. And he's like, yes, honey, but you're beautiful. I love you. And you get electrolysis for it. Oh, we love Harry. So I'm thinking about chin mole, really thinking about chin mole. And again, friends, I don't want to seem narcissistic or extra or any of that here. We're subbing in chin mole for any of the things you may not love about yourself here. Again, we're just not even skin deep today. We're deep, but not like super deep, as we will get on some episodes, as y'all know. So we're like a little surface layer here, trying to keep it lighthearted because it's Halloween. But like, why don't I flip the perspective here? Why don't I take ownership of chin mole? Isn't that what comedy is all about? Making fun of it before other people make fun of you? So I was working on some stand-up comedy about my chin mole, and I wanted to see if I could run some stuff by y'all. I've given up with learning new talents. It's exhausting. For the special skills section of my resume, I'm going to start listing sprouting chin hairs out of my mole. Ah, nuts, I messed up that joke. I've given up with learning new talents. It's exhausting. For the special skills section of my resume, I'm going to start listing sprouting hairs out of my chin mole, able to braid them with one hand. Or, chin mole is my friend. She goes everywhere with me. Chin mole and I play dress up and read magazines together. But I hate it when every few weeks she invites her friend coarse mole hair over. I'm like, no, I will not be a third wheel on my own face, you two. Then, if I can't hold off for electrolysis, I'll pluck coarse hair out of my chin mole, and I'm like a narc unplugging the ska music at a rave. Party's over, bitches. Party's over, witches. But to any of y'all who may also have the witchy ability to grow hair, unwanted hair, of course, you know that once you pluck one, more hairs come back. So a few weeks after I get rid of coarse hair, she goes back underground, gathers all of her mean girl friends, and they all come back to my face with a vengeance. That's right. I have multiple hairs coming out of one mole, and it's like a conference that I'm forced to attend that doesn't even serve Fiji water or hors d'oeuvres. Chin Mole's like, good luck squeezing in an appointment with the electrologist now. You've got a conference to attend. Chin Mole is actually very comforting. She's always there for me. When I take a shower, go to the beach, extra sunscreen on me, girl, melanoma. Go to the dermatologist. Hey, Dr. Fishman, good to see you. See, I haven't changed in shape or size or color a bit. I can stay on Brooke's face. Yeah, I had a great time. We just got back from Coachella. And I'm like, wait, what? Record screech. What do you mean, Chin Mole? I didn't go to Coachella. Who went to Coachella? That's when unwanted coarse hair pops up like, oh, we went to Coachella. Without you, Brooke. Upper lip mole is on the left side of my face, which is my good side, I think. I think that's my good side. And chin mole is on the right side of my face. So it's almost like I have that classic angel and devil on either shoulder. They even have like voices in my head. Upper lip mole talks like a stereotypical happy-go-lucky cartoon princess. She's so pretty. While chin mole, in my head, sounds like Blanche Devereaux of the Golden Girls. She's like, oh, we're going as a basic witch again this Halloween, honey. I really wanted to wear that pleather unitard and go as a cheetah or be a sexy candy striper. And I'm like, no, chin mole, I do not think you are sexy. And lip mole, upper lip mole is like, now be nice, Brooke. And chin mole is like, I am the sexiest thing alive, you ingrate. Now come on, upper lip mole, let's go enjoy some cheesecake without Brooke. And y'all, those are things I'm just working on. I'm just kind of working on in order to accept my face, my mole face, my hairy mole face, and my acceptable, prettier mole face. I'm just dealing with it. How can we deal with it? Comedy. I don't know what else. Comedy, therapy. Comedy doesn't have a copay, but it does have a 2-drink minimum. Oh, y'all. Just to put everyone at ease in case you're worried for me, which if you are, I appreciate it, but I'm just kind of, just saying this right here. I get mole checks every year. I'm sure you're so worried, but I do get mole checks every year. Chin mole has been checked out many times by Dr. Fishman, my dermatologist who I keep talking about, and she is fine. I mean, Dr. Fishman is fine, and chin mole is fine. I keep almost expecting Dr. Fishman to be like, oh, chin mole is changing, changes. Time to rip chin mole off and biopsy that beast. But y'all, all jokes aside, while I may not love the looks of chin mole and its ability to sprout coarse hairs, I am grateful. I am very grateful that so far, knock wood, sign of the cross over me, that chin mole and my other moles are healthy. I may not think chin mole's pretty. 18th century Europe may love her. 1980s John Hughes may view her as comedic fodder, but she's here with me for the long haul. And when Halloween comes around, that one special time of year, thanks to chin mole, upper lip mole, and many other moles and other things I have going on my face naturally, when I get into my witch costume, I don't need as much time on hair and makeup. I encourage all of us to try to reframe the perspective on those parts about us, moles or otherwise, that we may not love, that we may not like, that we may detest, and not with like toxic positivity, but maybe with a little potion of humor, dark chin mole, sprouting hair humor. Happy Halloween.
Thanks so much for listening, y'all. It is my hope to inspire, uplift, and entertain you with this Who's Dat Fat Girl podcast. So, if you're hungry for more, you can book me to speak or perform my solo show that inspired this podcast, Fat Girl Costumes, written by yours truly and directed by Brian Lady at your virtual or in-person event. Please visit brookehoover.com/fluffybuttproductions or email me at contactbrookhoover@gmail.com for more info. And let's follow each other on Instagram. I'm at Brooke Hoover, and the O's in my name are not the letter O, they're zeros. Not because I want to be a size 0, but because I guess I'm just so clever with my late 90s Yahoo self. And if you like this podcast, which I really hope you do, please give me a 5-star rating and write a review on Apple Podcasts. And most importantly, share this with your friends, family, and other people you may know who are as fat as we are. That's fat with a PH.